Secretary General, how many civilians do we think are currently trapped in the Strait of Hormuz, and what condition are they in?
Right now, we estimate that around 20,000 innocent seafarers remain trapped in the Strait of Hormuz, particularly in the Persian Gulf, on the west side of the strait. And of course, the longer that they stay there, the more that they get affected for fatigue, at the same time as mental health. And this is one of the areas that we're working very closely with the countries in the region to provide that support. Equally, ships will need to supply on essentials like water, food and fuel, so the ships do not become a danger, an additional one, and the seafarers can also continue to operate. In this respect, several countries are actually providing that remote assistance when it comes to the health and well-being of the seafarers, and we are also working with the countries in the region to provide the necessary supplies.
So Iran is saying that it could legally charge a toll to help these civilians and these vessels pass through the Strait of Hormuz. Is that legal?
There's no legal mechanism that allows a country, any country, to either block or introduce a payment or a toll system on an international strait that deals with international navigation. This is very well defined both in the law of the sea convention as well as the customary maritime law. And that's why, since 1968, we have had this mechanism for the traffic separation schemes for vessels to transit in and out of the Persian Gulf via the Strait of Hormuz with no difficulties.
So a blockade you don't think will be effective. What do you think will be effective in bringing this conflict to a close?
The root causes of the conflicts, of course, are beyond the International Maritime Organization's remit. And that's why we continue to engage with other agencies like the United Nations Security Council in providing information of how this is affecting the innocent seafarers, shipping, and global trade. But the reality is that the main focus for the international community needs to be on de-escalation.
So you recently attended a meeting with the foreign ministers of France and the UK. How did that meeting go?
Very well, because it's one of those coalitions that again continues to keep momentum in finding solutions for the conflict, for the seafarers, and for the actions that we are taking at IMO in order to resume operations. The more that the countries engage and acknowledge to everyone the negative impact that this conflict is having on those countries, particularly developing ones that have no part in this crisis, the more that we get that moving forward in relation to focusing on the solutions on the relevant agencies. It's not only within the discussions and conversations at IMO, but in other parts of the United Nations as well.